So now I want to teach you about some terminology associated with Microsoft Excel, because there could be some confusion about Microsoft Excel. And sometimes people refer to like Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Office. They'll refer to it as Microsoft Office, or they'll refer to it as Office 365, or they'll refer to it as Microsoft 365. And you can see those three terms right here. And so there's some confusion around those terms, and I just want to point out and clarify what those different terms are and where they come from, and which is the correct one to be using now, so that when you're referring to Microsoft Office and different, Microsoft products like Excel and Word and PowerPoint and Access, you're actually using the correct terminology, or at least you know the correct terminology. It's not a, it's not a like do or die kind of thing. It's not like an egregious, horrible error if you use the wrong terminology. But I want you to know the history of the terms and which is the current term. So originally things were called Microsoft Office, and there was different versions of Microsoft Office. So if we click this link right here, it takes us to Wikipedia, and we come to this page here, and it'd be like Microsoft Office 2000, or Microsoft Office XP, or Microsoft Office 2013, right? That's what they referred to it as. And then eventually they decided to start calling it Office 365. But then they realized that there were so many additional pieces of software that were included in Office 365 that calling it Office was kind of a limiting term to refer to all of that software, because the options and the offering of what they were providing people had really expanded between this normal concept of just word processing and spreadsheet software. And so they changed the name to Microsoft 365, as in 365 days of the year you should be using our product, right? So they call it Microsoft 365. That's what it's called today. It used to be called Office 365. This change happened relatively recently, just in the last couple of years, and going from Office 365 to Microsoft 365. But the current terminology that is being used to refer to all this is Microsoft 365, and it used to be called Microsoft Office. And if you use any of those terms, it'll be fine, but you know that Microsoft 365 is the current and correct term to use when referring to it. And as we've already discussed, there's a web-based version of a lot of this software. There's also a computer-based version of the software. If you want to purchase it, Costco has the best pricing. I've put links in here if you belong to Costco. You could also get it on Amazon and Microsoft. So check those different resources to see who's offering the best pricing. And if you are a student somewhere, you could check this website, collegebuys.org, and see if your school is signed up to allow you to get discounted software at student pricing, right? And so I'm just bringing that up right here, and you could go in for students and search to see if your school allows discounted software to be purchased at collegebuys.org. And I will put that in as a link right there also. So now I want to show you how to install the desktop version of Microsoft 365. And to do that, you could come to your home area once you've purchased Microsoft 365. And at the home area, when you click on home, you'll go to install Office right there, and you'll get all of the Office apps. And sometimes if you're in your account area, my account, it can look like this, right? So I'm in my account area, and I can choose to install Office. And so here you could see that even though it's Microsoft 365, they're still calling it Office, and they even will intermingle those terms to refer to all of this software. And the last thing I want to show to you is that, I want to teach you to fish and not just give you a fish. So if you need to figure out how to install, Microsoft Office, you could just Google that and obviously come up with the resources to figure out, read through the different resources to figure out what is the current procedure for installing Microsoft Office, Microsoft 365 on your desktop computer. And this might seem like, it's something that's kind of obvious, but sometimes the obvious is overlooked, and sometimes common sense is not common practice. And this is the way we learn, is just to be reminded and be shown. And for some people, this might be one of the first times they're starting to learn this. And so that's why I include this information in the courses about these steps, which for some people who've had more experience might seem a little bit obvious, because I want everybody to know how to do it. All right, so that's Microsoft Office 365 and the different terms, what it used to be called Office 365, and it used to be called Microsoft Office 2013 or 2016 or XP or whatever. It's a little bit of a history of the releases. That's kind of nice to look at too, so you could see the different versions that have come out. So here we have version 16, which has been from 2016 to the present, and it's many years out. It's a couple years after that, but that's just the most current one that they have out right now, and the different Office versions. So that's just some useful information about referring to Microsoft Excel and Microsoft 365 and what those terms are, and then also how to install the desktop version of Microsoft Office.